How did that happen? How did you end up on an Alpha course, Kathryn?
Well, I've been thinking about doing one for a little while, and my mother-in-law, who a lot of people will know, Julie, who helps out at 2 by 2 and Family Cafe, she gave me a flyer and she said, do you want to do this? Like, do you think this is something that you're interested in? And it sat on our windowsill in our kitchen for a month. And I thought, do you know what? I really am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the plunge. And it, although I thought about doing it before, I hadn't had a lot to do with churches previously. My parents didn't go to church. I did a brief stint in a church choir when I was at primary school because a friend was doing it. But it felt like quite a big step to take, to join up to it and go over the threshold and meet all these people that I'd never met before. But I'm so glad I did. I had such a wonderful experience on the Alpha course. It made me ask a lot of questions that I'd never really had time to think about before. I met a wonderful group of people who we're now in a home group together and have been since the Alpha course 2 years ago. And it's really opened up my mind really to this world that I hadn't really considered before.
So that I mean, that was a very courageous thing, wasn't it, for you to rock up on that first evening? Because, as you say, you didn't know anybody. So how did you kind of pluck the courage up to do that? Because that, to me, always seems to be a big step for people, that one.
I think it helped that it was in January, New Year's resolution and all that, and I thought, I'm going to do it. I'd also just found out that I was pregnant with Theo, and there was a real sense of it's now or never, because once this second child comes into our lives, we're not going to have a lot of time to do these things. I just went for it. And like I said, I have no regrets about doing it at all. It was so enlightening, and everyone was so welcoming.
That's really good. So for folk who are kind of listening in who perhaps haven't either heard of the Alpha course or not quite sure what the format's like, what was the kind of format of the evenings, and what were some of the things that you remember being significant that you were kind of talking about?
Well, I remember the food, because that was incredible. We sat down and have a meal together, which I appreciate people aren't going to be able to enjoy now, but that was a really lovely way to start. And then the format was we would watch one of the videos and they cover different themes. To be honest, call this like mum brain. I can't really remember what those themes were, but then we talk about them afterwards. And I just remember that it really helped to share everyone's life experiences and what they felt about and queries. And it was just such an open discussion that it really helped me to explore things that I hadn't really had a chance to think about before.
Excellent. And so where would you say that you are on that kind of faith journey, Kathryn? Where has that taken you from, and where are you now, sort of thing, if you would kind of see that?
Well, I still think I'm very much at the beginning of my journey, but I certainly feel confident that I am a Christian and I feel committed to our church. I feel much more comfortable in terms of the Bible and being able to explore that myself, which I barely picked up a Bible before the Alpha course. And I'm not saying I've read it from cover to cover. I'm nowhere near that now. But it sits by the side of my bed and it's there whenever I need it, or I have the time to look at it. I do home group every week or most weeks. And I think that's really helped me sort of foster my faith, because particularly with having such a busy life now with 2 children, with work, and balancing everything, I think it would have been easy for it to go by the wayside, without having that group that I come back to week after week. We talk about all sorts. I really count them as friends now, as well as, you know, people that I know through church. So yeah, I'm still at the beginning. I'm definitely committed.
That was brilliant answer. That, I mean, you have got a really good group there, haven't you? And Dave and Carol are fantastic people.
Definitely, yes.
So if somebody kind of roughly in your situation is listening to this and thinking about, should I join the Alpha group starting on March the 11th, which of course will be on Zoom. So it won't be that quite the same, in the sense that there won't be the food, which is a shame, everybody. But what would you say to somebody who perhaps has just got an inkling of a thought to do it?
I'd say they've got absolutely nothing to lose. It surprised me. I wasn't necessarily thinking that I would go on the Alpha course and then automatically I would start going to church. I had a lot of questions. I had preconceptions, but actually I started on that journey, and it really surprised me, and the way I reacted really surprised me. And so I'd just say, be open-minded and give it a go. And, you know, you will receive a warm welcome.
That is a brilliant answer. Be open-minded and give it a go. That's our motto now. Be open-minded, give it a go, everybody. So thank you so much, Kathryn, for speaking to us. Really, really brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.